Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's Kanye. Today's video we're going to be going over how to make one of the shorter point guards. It's going to be elite, really great playmaker, and in my opinion, it might be one of the best short point guard builds in NBA 2K23. Now, if y'all have been playing 2K23, you know the builder has all this diverse abilities. You can make these builds crazy, and every single build in the game is going to be unique. Now, obviously, you know, it has led to people, you know, kind of going off on their own. And, you know, if you're watching build videos still, I still appreciate, you know, all the love and all the y'all watching, liking, subscribing. It means the world to me. I understand that people are trying to be more independent this year compared to last year. You know, with the pie chart systems, you more or less watch build videos just to possibly see a really good build, but also just to see builds that are done differently because everything was so cookie cutter. This year, you know, I don't blame y'all for being out there and trying to do, you know, the builds on your own. I support that. That being said, if you're somebody that's coming to watch the build video because you don't have time to grind in the builder and get a build figured out, welcome. I hope y'all enjoy the video. Also, I know I've been doing a lot of guard builds. If y'all want to see some more big man builds, drop a comment. I'm definitely going to be working on that. Especially if you want more of an interior big or more of a stretch big, let me know. Again, I'm just trying to cater to the people watching, try to help you all find builds that y'all like. But we're going to consider this, you know, this could almost be considered a play like a pro of Jason Williams. And so we're going to get into that. I'm not putting this in the play like a pro because I didn't try to match his attributes. So this is just a regular, you know, short point guard build, great playmaking build, but I would compare it to Jason Williams. So let's go ahead and get started. As I said, today we're making a point guard. Handing this and jersey number up to you. For our body settings, now I went 6'1", 168 pounds, 6'10", and then body shape solid. The big thing with this, right, I didn't necessarily use all the acceleration and speed points. So you could technically up the weight here. Again, all this stuff can be adjusted to how you want to do the caps, and I highly recommend toying with it more and more, especially here in the physicals, because your caps can change and it can affect your badge counts and how much going to certain attribute levels cost. So definitely toy with that. I just like to go min weight, so that's where we're at here. 6'1", 168, 6'10". So when we go ahead and get in here, we're going to look at our finishing stats. So I've got a 69 close shot, 85 driving layup, and an 86 driving dunk. Now, I know I compared this to Jason Williams in the initial, you know, kind of breakdown of the build. I want y'all to understand, I know Jason Williams probably wasn't, you know, throwing down contact dunks on a regular. In fact, I know he wasn't doing that. But the reason I went this route is because before I had a much higher layup and around an 80 to 70 something driving dunk, and we did get gold slithery and we did have gold fearless finisher, but having gold limitless takeoff is going to be very, very nice on this build. You know, we're going to be able to have gold acrobat as well, Hall of Fame giant slayer, which as a 6'1", having those three builds, we're going to be able to do some crazy animations around the rim and be able to finish really, really well. You know, we have giant slayer for 4 badge points, acrobat for 5 badge points, fearless finisher for another 4, and that's already going to put us, you know, well over 10. And then we can get limitless and slithery, eventually core one of those, and possibly, you know, add on posterizer. That being said, you know, if we add a few more badges here, obviously we can tweak with it a little bit more, but just know that that's your options. Very good finishing build at 6'1". Now, moving on to the shooting. We've got an 80 mid-range, 89 3-ball, and a 76 free throw. You're going to see here almost every single badge is at least gold. I could have went, you know, shorter wingspan and got that 3-point shot higher to get us gold limitless and gold deadeye, but realistically I think, you know, silver limitless is more than enough. Me and a bunch of guys I run with, we all use silver limitless, and you're able to shoot from behind the hash with silver limitless this year, so I don't think it's necessary to waste badge points at the 3-point rating. Not to mention, once you hit 89, it allows you to get gold agent 3s and gold blinders, which are huge for smaller guards. So you can see here we're going to be able to get all 4 of our tier 3 badges, or at least 3 of them. And then we're also going to be able to get things like Amp, Green Machine. We can even get Space Creator. So we have a lot of options here shooting-wise. If you want a few more shooting badges, again, take some off of, you know, either finishing, or you could knock down the playmaking a little bit. But the playmaking, as I start talking about, let's move down to it, is the primary aspect of this build that makes it so good. So we've got a 90 pass accuracy, a 94 ball handle, and an 86 speed with ball. This 94 ball handle is going to get you gold handles for days. Most people are running silver or bronze just because they're making taller builds. This, we get all these badges in tier 3 on gold. It's going to allow us to handle the ball extremely well. Not to mention unpluckable in tier 2 on gold, Hall of Fame quick first step. We get needle threader as a tier 1 badge. You're going to be able to play very effectively on this build, being able to pass out of shots, make quick passes with the 90 pass act. You're going to be throwing missiles. What I will tell you all is that this year, the best pass style is probably LaMelo Ball at 85 overall pass act, or a LeBron at 75 overall pass act. At 90 overall, though, we are going to get the Jason Williams pass style, which will allow us to kind of mix in some flashy passes. Again, the primary point of this build is just to try some of those higher level animations that we wouldn't get on other builds. So, we'll be able to get the Jason Williams pass style, which will be kind of cool to try out. Not to mention we have a plethora of different playmaking badges to try out. Everything is on Hoffer Gold, so that's huge. We move down to defense and rebounding. Obviously, you're 6'1" guard. There's really no point in touching block, offensive, defensive, rebound, interior defense, but we do get the perimeter defense up to an 88. We get the steal to a 72. Now, the reason for the 88 perimeter defense is because without it, our name is going to change. So if you have below the 88 perimeter defense, you're going to be called a playmaking shot creator. So by all means, if you want to go that route, go it. I up to an 88 to get a slightly different build name. Not to mention, it gets us that 17th defensive badge. So we look here with our 17 badges, we can get, menace, workhorse, pick dodger, and then eventually get clamps or challenger. One thing I'll tell y'all is that workhorse is an extremely underrated badge this year. It's going to allow you to get a lot of passes that you tip. It's going to allow you to catch them or grab them quickly after you tip the pass. So I highly recommend running that pretty high. Also, we're going to get, menace, which I think is a pretty good badge this year, especially if you're guarding on ball. But clamps and challenger are also good badges. I don't know how good challenger will be on a small point guard, but it's definitely something I'm going to try out. And then, of course, interceptor and glove are there as well. We have a 72 steal. Again, I could have went the other way around and up the steal a lot to try and get, gold or Hall of Fame glove. But realistically, I don't want to play that way on this build. There's other builds you can definitely do that. Moving down to our physicals, you're going to see we've got a 76 speed, 85 acceleration, 40 strength, 75 vertical, 88 stamina. Just to go ahead and clarify, the strength went up because of the perimeter defensive stats and the layup, so we don't need to mess with it. Actually, you can take it down a little bit, but I don't necessarily think it's going to make a difference. Like, you knock it down 2, you could up your free throw, I guess. So you could always do that. Looking at the vertical, we went 75 because that's the requirement for those pro contact dunks. I want to reiterate again, I know Jason Williams didn't, necessarily do a ton of pro contact dunks or anything like that, but it definitely helped enhance the build. So that's why I went ahead and threw it on there. And then stamina 88. You're going to see here, we have a really strong badge count on this build. 22 finishing, 24 shooting, 28 playmaking, and 17 defensive badges. You see a lot of these guys posting they've got these builds that are getting 100 plus badges. And sure, that's true, but they're not touching the physicals. This build is getting very close to 100 badges. I think, let's see here. So we've got 70, 70, 85, 89, 91 badges, I think, right there. Someone can check my math on that, but I'm pretty sure that's 91 badges. So 91 badges, and that's on a build that has all the physicals upgraded reasonably high. Again, you could definitely up your speed with ball more. There's definitely little ways to tweak this, but I think this is going to be the best version of this build that's going to play like a pure playmaking point guard that can still get a bucket when it needs to. Moving on to the takeovers. Again, I made this build to be a playmaking point guard, so we went with team badge boost, team ratings boost. Obviously, I'll show you all. It does get the shot creating take. It does get the sharp take, playmaking take, and it gets lock take as well. It does kind of stink if you wanted finishing take. You don't have that option. Again, there's some things you could tweak to make sure you get that option by knocking the perimeter down a couple. You could probably up the finishing a little bit and get finishing takeover. But this is how it's set up currently. And yeah, you're going to see here, we are going to get comparisons to Jason Williams as our top comparison, which is exactly what I was going for. So we're really happy with that. We've also got Mike Conley and Fred VanVleet. But you're going to see we're called a two-way play shot, which I think that's a really cool name. That's one that I've never seen before. I've seen it obviously in this game, but I hadn't seen it in any previous game. So it's definitely one of the more unique names out there. And plus, you're a really good all-around build. So, if y'all want to try this build out, let me know what y'all think. That being said, let's go ahead and hop in here into the tester, and I'll show y'all how I lay out the badges for this thing. Please do note that you can have, if you've hit level 39 in the first 2 seasons, I know the second season's only been out a little bit, you will have plus 6 badges. So we'll go ahead and show you where to apply those in here as well. But for our finishing, I'm going to go Hall of Fame Giant Slayer. I want Acrobat. I definitely want Fearless. And then I want to go Limitless Takeoff, Core It, and get Slithery. We've got 3 badges left. Now, technically, you could definitely not, run Fearless on. You could run Fearless on Bronze. You could run Acrobat on Bronze, and you get some badge points back. And then you could always get Bronze Posterizer. That's really, completely up to you. You could also knock down Giant Slayer to like Silver, knock down this to Silver, and then you've got your Silver Posterizer. So that is definitely an option you have. I'm not saying there's one right way to do this, but me personally, as a 6'1" guard, the odds of you getting a lot of contact dunks driving in the paint aren't necessarily high unless maybe you're playing park and you're getting in a one-on-one situation. This is how I would recommend doing it, just because I feel like you're going to get a lot more layup animations than you are dunk animations. With our leftover 3, if we do go this route, I would go ahead and throw on maybe Aerial Wizard, so you can catch lobs, throw some people off. That being said, how I have this now is definitely how I would probably lay it out. If you want to have your layup timing on, you could definitely throw pro touch on as well. But this is how I would lay it out for myself. Shooting wise, we definitely want to go amped on gold. We definitely want green machine on gold. In terms of the lower badges, I don't think any of these are really essential for a point guard that's going to be playing with the ball in his hands most of the time. Maybe volume shooter if you have room left over for it. I would go ahead and go limitless range, and I would go agent 3s. I'd core that, and then I would go ahead and get Deadeye or blinders. You could definitely run like silver blinders or silver Deadeye. We'll go silver Deadeye. And then you could knock down maybe amp to silver, and then give yourself like bronze space creator or gold volume. Me personally, I would probably do it like this, and then go ahead and give yourself silver volume shooter. With space creator, this is good for your step back moves, your hop steps, things like that. But I don't think it's worth the tier 2 badges. If it was a tier 1, I'd definitely say go for it. If you have ankle breaking shots on as a takeover, you really don't need space creator in my opinion, so think about that too when you're picking your takeovers. We got gold agent 3s, which this badge is insane, insanely broken. It's a great badge. Amped is an essential badge. Green machine's a great badge since you have to green this year. Limitless range, again, essential badge. Deadeye and blinders, you definitely want Deadeye. Blinders if you can get it, obviously. Both would be great on this build, so I highly recommend trying to get it if you can. But yeah, this is how I'd lay these out. And you might put a couple of your extra badges on shooting, just because if there was a way for you to get blinders, I would recommend looking into that. Moving on to playmaking, we definitely want quick first step on Hall of Fame. We want unpluckable. We'll start with it on silver. Again, we could go this route with the tier 1 badges. We definitely want silver needle threader. You can obviously run diamond and floor general as a playmaking point guard. You can also run ankle breaker if you're going for more of an ISO type vibe. I'm going to run silver bailout. We've got 12 left. I'm going to go ahead and throw on gold handles for days. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to knock bailout down to bronze, and I'm going to go ahead and get unpluckable down to bronze as well. And we're going to get gold clamp breaker, and then we're going to core handles for days, and we'll either go for killer combos or mismatch expert. Where you are a smaller build, mismatch expert's probably going to be really, really nice for this build. Also though, if you like to chain together your size ups and things like that, then you could go for killer combos. I will say on most of my point guard builds, I don't see this badge popping up that much, and it might be the way I choose to dribble. If you see this badge popping up a lot for yourself when you're playing on point guard builds, I highly recommend equipping it then. But I'll probably go with gold mismatch expert. Now that being said, you may decide you don't need all these on gold. If you want to drop one of them or two of them down to silver, then you can get your bailout unpluckable back. Hyperdrive I don't think you really need. It's good, but it's not essential. I've tried playing games with and without it, and I don't see that much of a difference. But yeah, obviously there's ways you can move this around. This build's going to handle the ball really well done. As far as like diamond and floor general, The thing is a lot of times big man builds have these badges available and they don't have any place to put their playmaking badges that they have, so they go ahead and throw on floor general for you, so you don't really need that. And needle threader is going to allow you to throw really good passes, and bailout will allow you to pass out a shot, so I highly recommend having those to where you can kind of, you know, ISO but also be a really good passer on top of that. Moving on to defense and rebounding, this one's going to be pretty straightforward. I would go ahead and run Hall of Fame Menace. I would run Silver Pig Dodger, and I'd run Silver Workhorse. Realistically, we've got 3 badges left. You could throw it on bronze ankle braces. We do want to, you know, take advantage of these tier 3 badges. So what I would actually probably do is throw your Menace down to gold. We can throw our Pig Dodger down to bronze. You probably could leave it on silver, but we'll throw it down to bronze, and we'll throw our Workhorse down to bronze. That gives us 6 left. We'll get clamps, we'll core it, and then you could either get glove or interceptor, or you could get challenger on silver, or we can come back and get these back upgraded again. So, you know, that's definitely another option you have. We can also go this route. Sorry, I'm just going all over the place. But, you know, then now we get interceptor or glove on bronze or challenger on bronze. So there's definitely a lot of ways to mix and match these defensive badges. And I highly recommend, you know, you just getting in there and trying to decide what's best for you. This is probably how I'd lay it out, just because I'm not going to get on ball steals. I don't think interceptor makes that big of a difference on picking off passes, but Workhorse I know helps you catch those passes, so that's probably what I'd recommend there. When we're looking through this, you could definitely add all 5 defensive badges here and then get glove or interceptor on bronze. All 5 of your extra badges to defense, I should say, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. Finishing, I don't think you need the extra badges. Shooting, if you added just like 2 or 3 of your badges here, you can knock Green Machine down to silver to get 1 back. You can take Volume Shooter off to get 3 back. Knock Amp down to silver, I'd give you 4 back. And then you could add 2 and have silver blinders. So you may add 2 of your 5 here. That's completely up to you. It's definitely an option you have though. For playmaking, me personally would probably like to add almost all my badges to the playmaking area, because if I add 5, then I get my unpluckable back up, I get my bailout back up, and I have 3 left over. I can throw on, you know, something like ankle breaker or dimer. Also, I can leave these 2 down, and I can add all 5 and get killer combos on bronze. So there's definitely options. What I'd probably recommend though is, at the end of the day, I would probably go and have 3 here, or I say 3 or 2. I think I said 2. So we'll add 2 here and add 3 here. So that way, you know, you have a little bit more playmaking, a little bit more shooting, just because the badges you want, you need to be able to get right. So I'd definitely do 2 in shooting, 3 in playmaking, and I'd probably call it a day. And once you get your extra 1, maybe put a 4th in playmaking or put a 3rd in shooting. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all like how I laid out the badges. If you do it differently, please don't hesitate to drop a comment. I'm still trying to understand all the badges and when they're the most effective and when they would be the best to use. So any wisdom y'all have to share, you know, feel free to share it in the comment section. Again, this is like, the goal of this channel is just to, you know, keep y'all up to date and show y'all things that you can try. I know it's tough to make a lot of builds this year too, so that's another reason I don't think people are watching build videos as much. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later.